Hello everybody, you're listening to Mark Ling, and I've got with me Andrew Hansen, who is a self-described SEO super nerd. And I have no idea how he found his way onto my Skype or why he started messaging me, but no, I'm just kidding. We first met, was it at the World Internet Summit? I'm trying to remember.
I think so, in Melbourne.
Yeah, in Melbourne, and several years ago, and we've been in touch ever since. He's been a go-to guy when it comes to SEO knowledge and how to get free traffic, not just from search engines, but from all sorts of matters. And he's really good at affiliate marketing and other forms of marketing. And in this webinar, he's going to show you guys how to capitalize on some recent Google changes in order to get more traffic to any websites you currently own, or alternatively how to get a new website online and get that profiting. You'll even see an example of a site that he took from zero to almost $9,000 in profit in just 60 days using free traffic only. I'll let you take it from here and start teaching stuff. Bear in mind, if you've got questions, guys, just write it down on a piece of paper and save it for the Q&A session later on. That's probably the best thing. You can type it into the Q&A box as we're going along, but you may find things get covered during the webinar, and it might be better to save it for later. So anyway, take lots of notes, guys, and I look forward to the presentation. Let's take it away, Andrew.
Yeah, first, thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. We've got such a great crowd in from so many different places in the world, and I'm pretty confident that I've got some knowledge to share with you guys tonight that will make it worth you having come out. What I'm really hoping to show you is some concrete techniques that you can use implementing immediately to be able to start getting new traffic from the search engines for free as quickly as possible and to turn that into real income. So the presentation is called $0 to $8,833.99 profit in 60 days with free traffic only. Those are the statistics of a website that we're going to be talking about shortly. The subtext of this is the most important part for me. This presentation is really about how to capitalize on what I believe to be the biggest opportunity for free traffic that has existed in a number of years. This presentation is coming to you on behalf of myself and the true SEO super nerd. There's a guy who's a friend of mine I'm going to introduce you to in a second. His name's Alex. He's not on the call tonight. He's not an internet marketing kind of a guy. He's just a pure SEO nerd that does this stuff all day, every day. But just so you know, that's the combination of expertise that you're receiving tonight. Guys, really quickly, I like to try to make these presentations both educational and perhaps a little bit enjoyable. And one of the ways we do that is with a little question time thing. It's a little game we play where at a couple of times during the presentation, you're going to see the word question time appear on the screen. When that happens, I'm going to ask a question, and the first person to type the correct answer into the question box is going to win $100 cash. I will send it to your PayPal after we finish this evening. The question, of course, will be about something we've been discussing. In case it's not clear, this is me bribing you for your attention. I really want you to listen. I want you to be able to take some stuff away from this that you can put into place and start making more money. That's why we're here. That's what I want to achieve. So keep an eye out for that. Really quickly, this is for people who don't know me already. I don't like talking about myself and my own accomplishments, really, but I do believe very strongly that when it comes to taking advice from anyone in the world of internet marketing, you have to be careful who you listen to. We live in a crazy little industry where there's a lot of people who seem to be experts, who like to say that they're experts on a subject, but they've got their own made-up reasons for being so, and we all have to be careful of that. So this is really quickly in 30 seconds why I might be worth listening to. I'm 27 years old this year. I've been running this business online for 8 years now. So I started this, I dropped out of university and started this business when I was 19 years old. So this stuff that I'm talking about tonight, this is my degree, this is my work, my profession, my life, everything. I know almost nothing but this, okay? I started out like a lot of people, just a poor student, a normal guy. I lived with my parents at the time. I did the thing that a lot of people do when getting started online. I bought the expensive courses. I got ripped off by people who weren't what they said. After a year's time, I lost more money than I made. It wasn't looking very good. After that, fortunately for me, things kind of clicked and came together. From there on, I was able to grow my business to 7 figures a year within the next 5 years online, using the same kind of principles that we're going to be talking about today. Most importantly to me, and the thing that I'm most proud of, is that in that time, I've been able to share my strategies with other people with some success. I've coached students of mine to 5 figures a month in with their own incomes with all free traffic methods. So that's a little bit about why I have something to say. Very quickly, I want to talk to you about Alex as well. This is my buddy who's not on this presentation, but he's my partner in this free traffic stuff. Like I said, Alex is not an internet marketing guy. He's a strictly SEO guy. He doesn't like webinars and this kind of spotlight. He's just in his little dungeon doing SEO all day, every day. He's been doing this since 2007 now, 6 years. In that time, he's created and promoted more than 400 of his own websites in some of the most competitive markets in the world. So he's the kind of guy who builds sites in those markets that most of us stay completely away from. So I'm talking about credit cards and insurance, weight loss, the kind of places that most of us just clearly, intentionally do not go near. He operates there because he has so much experience and so much skill in doing SEO that he just knows that he can beat people. Okay. Alex also does SEO for corporate clients. So the last few years he's been working with businesses to help them get more free traffic. He's literally generated millions of dollars for these businesses just with the same kind of strategies we're going to be talking about tonight. Finally, Alex is a consultant to SEO agencies. So he's the kind of guy that other SEO professionals call up when they don't know what's going on. All right. And I'm not going to dwell on this stuff. I just mean to tell you that there is a wealth of experience behind the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. This is not just pie in the sky, okay? This is fairly real. So, guys, in this webinar, in the next 60 minutes, there's 2 things that I really want to share with you. The first one is why there is a unique and enormous opportunity to claim big revenue from easy free traffic right now. And the second one is some techniques that you can use to start capturing that free traffic and turning it into new profit as quickly as possible. And specifically, we're going to cover 3 techniques. Guys, this is for you if, number 1, if you have a site for your business or for making money that isn't getting enough traffic right now. If, number 2, you have an old site that you hoped would one day get some free traffic, but it never really happened, so you just kind of left it. Or if you want to start a new site to create new income with free traffic in 2014. And I wouldn't mind to ask really quickly, just so I know what kind of crowd that we have, type into the question box and let me know which one of these most applies to you. And hopefully I'll be able to tailor my information according to the kind of crowd we have. Okay. So I can see a lot of 1s, a lot of 3s. A lot of all 3s.
Yeah, there's a couple of 2s in there.
A couple of 2s, yeah. Okay, that's really cool.
It's getting more and more 2s now. I'd say.
Okay, that's cool.
I'd say you're getting like 20% of people are having 2s, or maybe a little bit more, and 1 and 3 would be taking up about the other 40% each.
Excellent. That's cool to see. It's nice to see that it's quite mixed between you guys there, because that's what I'm hoping to share tonight, is some information that's going to apply to each of those situations that we're talking about. So thanks, guys. Thanks for contributing there. Let me get stuck into this. So what you're going to see in the next 60 minutes is number 1, how we took a new site from startup to $8,833 profit in 60 days with only free search engine traffic. How we got an existing site to pull $3,500 in monthly revenue new out of the air within 2 weeks with only free search engine traffic. And third, how another site generated $100,000 in new business in 8 weeks with only free search engine traffic. Might sound a little bit crazy, for now, but I hope to demonstrate to you very clearly exactly how that happened and show you how it may be possible for you too. Guys, first I want to tell you about the biggest opportunity for free traffic that has existed in years. I want to show you clearly why this opportunity exists and how you can capitalize on it starting from today. So to understand this, you first need to take a brief look back in time. So the way it used to be when it comes to ranking in the search engines is that you would start by finding some keyword that you wanted to rank for. So you would do some research, you would use some kind of a tool, and you would find some keyword that you thought you could rank for, some keyword that had people looking for it and that looked like it had low competition. You would write a piece of content or maybe make a video or something else targeting that keyword, and you would hope for that piece of content to rank for that keyword. In order to make that happen, you would go out and you would build a ton of backlinks. You would build a lot of links and you would wait for your page to climb the rankings for that keyword. Guys, if nothing else, I want you to try to take away from this presentation that picture that I've tried to paint there, that is old school now. I think there's a better way to do things. I think that's outdated. I think there's an easier way. If you can forget that, I want to show you something better that you can do starting today. So, guys, the internet in 2014 is different. And I can say that having gotten started in 2005. I've seen some of the changes. The internet now looks a little more like this. So last month, Alex and I were in New York City, and we got a chance to do a tour of a famous advertising agency, a very big one. It may be the biggest ad agency in the world. This is the kind of company that manages advertising budgets for and marketing campaigns for some of the biggest brands in the world. I'm talking about brands the size of like Burger King or like Revlon makeup, things like that. A company that has access to some of the most in-depth market research and data that exists on all the biggest markets, not just on the internet but in the world. We got a chance to talk to the CEO of this ad agency, kind of a famous guy in his little circle. He's really cool. He said to us, and even being involved in search engine marketing, I was surprised. He said to us that they believe that, quote, 90% of purchase decisions in the world begin with a search engine. The theme of this presentation and the theme of what I want your online marketing kind of stuff to be about in the next 12 months in 2014 is that it's time to forget about traffic and to start thinking about buyers. And if you're thinking about buyers, there isn't a place for traffic like the search engines. That's according to the people with the most data that you can have on this matter. Guys, in 2013, Google received 5.9 billion searches per day. That's unique search queries. Okay, that's a big number, so what? That big number was up, it increased by 15% from the year before, from 2012. 15% on 6 billion, it's a lot of searches. Even that increased double as much from the year before that. What it means is that we're seeing an almost exponential increase in the number of searches that are taking place, which specifically means that the long tail of search is longer than ever. For anyone who doesn't know what that means, the long tail, so if you take a keyword, it's really simple, like dog training, like a big broad keyword, the long tail of search is the keywords where those people start to get ready to make a decision. So the long tail keyword might be something like dog training school in London, England, right? What this data means is that that long tail, the number of people who are making those kind of specific searches, is longer than ever. There's more of those people than ever. More buyers, more open keyword markets, and more money being spent by those same group of people than there has ever been. Okay? So that's interesting. But keep those things in mind as we continue. In addition to this kind of state of the search engine, state of the internet, there are 4 specific changes that Google has made in the last 12 months to 2 years that I believe have opened this opportunity for easy free traffic. The 4 things are these. The first is that in the last 12 months, Google made a change where they have begun to rank sites, or at least begun to try and rank sites more on their relevance to a topic than their relevance to a keyword. We're going to explain in detail what that means shortly, and I'm going to show you some examples, but just imagine for now, before I give the explanation, that it's possible for one piece of content to rank for 30 to 50 targeted buying keyword phrases. So it's not like make your site and try to make it rank for this great keyword. It's one piece of content ranking for 30 to 50 targeted keywords. We're going to talk more about that. That's the first thing that's happened. The second thing is that, and this has taken quite a long time, but Google is finally starting to reward websites for doing less backlinking. That means doing less to promote their sites and increase their rankings in the search engines. Google has always said from the beginning of time that they do not want people to actively build backlinks to their websites. That's what they've said publicly. The frustrating thing is that the algorithm, the actual search engine robot, has always rewarded sites for building backlinks. It's a core part of how it works. This goes back to the very beginning. So for a long time there's been this conflict where Google said a particular thing publicly and actually the algorithm worked in completely the opposite way. It hasn't completely changed, and there still is a lot of that contradiction in Google, but more recently we have seen that there finally has started to be a change in this. And what that change means is that now websites are able to rank for these kind of money keyword phrases with less backlinks, and understand that to mean less work, than has been possible for a very, very long time. Keep in mind the subtext of both of these points, which is that if it's true, and I hope to prove to you that it is, we're talking about being able to rank in Google, get more free traffic for a smaller amount of work. First, by creating less content, having it rank for more terms, and second, by building less backlinks. Keep this in mind. The third thing is that Google is constantly increasing in its ability to find and index new content, so that if you are doing the things that Google likes now, and if you know what those things are and you're doing them properly, Google can have your site up and ranking more quickly than has ever been possible. So now you have the possibility for not only easier traffic than before, but faster traffic than has ever been possible really before. Google is continually growing in its ability to do that. So that's an exciting development as well. Guys, that's 3. Number 4 is maybe the most exciting one for me. Number 4 is that in the last couple of years, because of some confusion that's taken place and because of some weird things that Google has done, a lot of people have got it wrong. A lot of people have misunderstood what has happened, and they kind of left the game. What I mean is that a lot of people misread the trends, they misunderstood what was happening, and they decided that it was just easier for them to pay for traffic and pay a lot of money than it was to understand properly how to get the traffic for free. Now, that has meant that in so many different markets across the internet, that competition has taken a dive. All right, the number of people that were doing well have kind of just faded back, and in so many different markets, there's not as many of them. Competition is a little bit lower, and in a lot of cases, it's much lower. So, try to understand this picture, if you will, combining the two sets of things we've talked about now. Number 1, the amount of traffic available, the number of profitable keyword markets and people in them is at an all-time high. We saw that. It's increasing exponentially, remember? Number 2, the competition has taken a dive. Less people competing for a higher amount of money to be made. Whether you're talking about search engines or stock markets or business, anything, that's a good thing. 3, at the same time, simultaneously to that, in the last 12 months to 2 years, those 3 changes have taken place that have opened up new possibilities for ranking really easily. So there's less competition, there's more money to be made, more of these keyword markets available, and it's easier to access them because of those couple of changes that have been made. This, my friends, is why I believe that yes, right now there is a significant opportunity to get free traffic easily from the search engines. Now, what I really want to do on this presentation is show you the proof. I want to show you the examples of the sites that are capitalizing on this and show you what they did so that you can copy it. But before we do that, it's question time. This is the first question time, ladies and gentlemen. In a moment, I'm going to press the button. A question is going to appear on screen about what we've been discussing, and the first person who answers it will receive $100 cash to their PayPal account. Mark's going to man the question box to try to see who the first person that answers is, and I'm going to click the button in a couple of seconds. Ready? Here we go. What percentage of purchase decisions start with a search engine, according to the ad agency CEO?
Okay, well, considering we had some people, I'm just going to scroll this across, some people actually started answering that question before, well, still getting loads of people. Some people started answering this question before you'd even displayed it. So I don't know if they should count, because they've obviously been on another webinar with you where you've asked this question.
Cheats. Dirty.
From the first person that I saw that answered it after you actually asked the question, okay, should I count them?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, then that's DK Flynn. Because that was the fourth. Yeah.
No, I know DK. He cannot win.
Oh, okay. Really? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so that person already has seen the question before. Okay.
We've been talking about this. He knew the answer to that.
Okay.
What a crazy guy.
Okay, how about...
Who's after DK?
Lucy Lewis.
Win, Lucy. It's yours.
Okay, so Lucy Lewis, you've just got to supply your PayPal, and you're underway, and you've got it.
Lovely, Lucy. Nicely done. Congratulations.
What was crazy was that the moment you asked the question, literally about 30 answers appeared within half a second. It was that fast. People just, they must have had their fingers on the keyboard, press enter. It was that quick.
It's nice that people that someone's won $100, but I like the fact that people are paying attention. Guys, keep doing that. That is great. If you can do that, we'll all make more money from being on this call tonight. Thank you. Cool. Guys, let's continue. So I want to talk to you about these sites now. So story number one I want to show you is about a little website that went from 0 to $8,833.99 profit in 60 days with only free search engine traffic. Now, this particular site is an affiliate site. We started work on this site in October of 2013. This is not an old example by any means. The site in total has 15 pages of content. So this is not a big site. This is not an authority monster that we're talking about here. This is the kind of site that any of us listening could feasibly have and promote. The stats you're going to see are all from free traffic. So we don't like paying for traffic that we can get for free easily. So all for free. Here it is. There's two parts of the results of this site that I want to show you. The first one is related to the traffic. So this is a shot from Google Webmaster Tools about the traffic of this site. What you will see here is that this website actually this is less than 60 days. This is about 45 days in when we grab this. This site was ranking for 421 different unique search queries, ranking for 421 keywords. If you're looking at that and you're thinking, how is it possible for a site that only has 15 pieces of content to rank for 421 keywords, I'll give you a hint, you are asking the right question. That's what we're going to talk about in a second. That's a bit about the traffic. Here is the statistic from the site. So we started, the date was about the 17th of October when this site got started. The following month in November 2013, this is a shot with the commissions. Had to block out some things there to protect our privacy, but you will see the site in that month, the following month after beginning, made $6,001.44. And in the following period, that took the site up to 60 days, on the 18th of the month, an additional $2,832.45. So the total for the site in that 60 days was $8,833.99. Now, because there's no paying for traffic, and with the exception of a domain name and a hosting account, this is profit. There's no overheads to pay here. There's nothing expensive. I mean, this is the money that's in your pocket, the money that you use to pay the bills or to buy holidays or do whatever you want to do. So that's what was possible for this little site. I want to quickly apologize because some people have asked me whether I can show this site, and what I say is that some people show their sites because they don't really care about them, and sometimes like they're okay if something happens to that site. I don't show this website because this is a real site that really pays the bills for us, and I protect the things that make me money. So I can't show you the site, but I'm going to talk a lot about what this site did to achieve that result, because that's the most important part. The other thing is that even by looking at a site, you won't always know what's happened to make it achieve that. But what I can do instead is talk to you about the work that was actually done and the techniques that you can copy that will allow you to achieve potentially something similar to that. So how did it do that? There's a couple of main factors responsible for this site's success, but I'm going to show you one because I think it's the primary one. The technique is to stop trying to target individual keywords. The technique is to forget going after the biggest keywords in your market and to let your competitors waste their time on that. Let me talk to you more about this change that Google has made in the last 12 months. Some of you will know about this and some won't, but last year Google released an update called Hummingbird. What Hummingbird was, it was an attempt from Google to re-understand, or to understand differently the way people, or rather understand differently what people are really looking for when they type a particular keyword. So in the past, and still a little bit now, if you typed a keyword into Google like dog training, the algorithm would say, if it could speak and it wasn't a robot, it would say, okay, you've typed in the word dog and the word training in that particular order, and we have some ideas about what a quality site is. So the site that is most valuable for the person searching that keyword is the one that uses that keyword in a particular way and is of a certain quality. The Hummingbird update is Google's first attempt to start changing that to be a little bit different. What they're trying to say now is, hey, if Andrew searches the keyword dog training, what is he really looking for? And that might sound obvious, but it represents quite a significant change in how search queries are processed. Because what it acknowledges is the fact that under every search query there is usually a question. Okay, we don't usually type questions into Google, we usually type words, phrases, but the words and phrases we type are usually trying to get at some underlying question. So if someone types in dog training, because it's a broad keyword, there's a number of questions that that person may be trying to answer. It could be something like, what is the philosophy of dog training? It could be something like, is there a dog training school near me? It could be, can I train my dog myself? It could be, how expensive is dog training? And many others. But the point is, there's usually a question underlying it. And the Hummingbird update is an attempt by Google to say, to decide that a piece of content and a website is most valuable to a searcher relative to how well it answers a person's underlying questions. Now this might sound a little bit theoretical and complicated, but I hope that in the next couple of minutes I'm going to have you understand exactly what that means and exactly how much easy traffic this could mean for you if you know how to take advantage of it. What it means is that if you knew how to create content that could answer the underlying questions of a person searching a particular keyword, you would have the ability to rank one piece of content for 30 to 50 keywords and get that amount of traffic and rank for that amount of stuff with that much less work. This means, once again, if it's true, and I hope to demonstrate that it is, that you don't have to create as much content in order to get rankings and in order to make money nowadays. And that's extremely important. If it were possible that you could do a less amount of work and get more traffic and make more money for it, everyone should want to know about that. Everyone should want to know how that's possible. So let's talk about how it is possible. How do you create this kind of content that can rank for 30 to 50 keywords? This is how. First, before we talk about this, understand, when you look at keyword data, like when you look at data from a keyword tool or from the AdWords keyword planner, where Google tells you this is how many searches that X keyword gets every month. Understand that basically never are they telling you the real search volume of a keyword. Sometimes they're giving you an estimation that's reasonably accurate. Other times they're giving you really no indication whatsoever. And they're definitely not telling you how many people you would actually be exposing yourself to, or could expose yourself to, if you were ranking for that particular keyword in the organic listings. Because the keyword tools, the AdWords keyword planner, is designed for people paying for the traffic and bidding on one keyword at a time. So keep that in mind. The technique here, how to create this topic relevant content, is to use Google Suggest, which is just, it comes up automatically when you're searching something in Google, to isolate groups of keywords that comprise one single topic, and to create a piece of content on that topic to rank for many, many of those highly targeted buyer keywords. Guys, the only way I can make this more clear is by an example. So let me show you this. This is a screenshot from the AdWords keyword planner for this keyword called dog insurance comparison. When I search this keyword in the AdWords keyword planner, Google is willing to tell me a certain, quite small amount of information about this keyword. It tells me that this keyword gets 10 searches per month, and that's all. And it tells me that the people who bid on that keyword when they're paying for traffic, the advertisers, they pay $9.69 per visitor for one single click for that keyword. So that's interesting. It also tells me that it knows about two other keywords that might be interesting to me: dog insurance comparison site and dog health insurance comparison, both of which have 10 searches per month. That's it. If you came across this keyword in your research and you were trying to think, well, is that somewhere that I can make money? If you came across that, you would say no. You would think, no, 10 searches a month, that's not enough people. I can't do anything with that. I'm not going to be able to get enough traffic to actually make me money with only 10 searches per month. And you would skip over that keyword. What I want to try to demonstrate to you is that 10 searches a month is not the number of people that you might be able to access by publishing not a keyword but a topic related piece of content on this topic of dog insurance comparison. Let me show you why I say that. When you go to Google and you start to type in these words, you get the suggestions. This has happened for a long time now. This is Google Suggest or Google Instant, whatever it's called now. When you type this keyword in, when you're a user, in other words, of Google rather than a marketer, Google has suddenly more information for you. It's very interesting. Google has new stuff that they didn't tell you about before. They have this keyword, dog insurance comparison sites, with an S on the end, comparison UK, and comparison chart. Interesting. How many searches per month do those keywords get? Well, we don't know. We don't know, but we know that it's not zero. It's not zero because Google didn't just make those keywords up. Someone searched them and Google stored it. So just let's say that it gets some searches a month and be happy with that for now. What else really is there? You can do the same search and put a space bar on the end and you get other things. I did the same thing and I get dog insurance comparison Australia, which was new, and dog insurance comparison site with no S. Interesting. That's 5 additional keywords now Google didn't tell us about before. They don't get 0 searches. And remember, the people advertising on this kind of keyword were paying about $10 a visitor, indicating they were making more than $10 per single visitor to the keywords on this in this group. What about more? You can type random letters on the end of the search. You guys probably know this. If you type like an M on the end, Google suddenly has more keywords that are very closely related. Dog insurance compare, market, and multi-dog insurance comparison. Now we're up to like 7, I think. 7 new keywords Google didn't tell us about. Here's another one. You can switch the words around. Comparison dog insurance. Suddenly Google knows about dog walking insurance comparison and dog health insurance comparison. These keywords do not get 0 searches, people. You can keep going. This goes on all day. You can do this for every single letter if you want, and you can do even more variations than that. If I type a C, Google knows even more keywords again. Suddenly it knows the word Canada and lifetime cover comparison. That's 10 keywords I think we've got out of nowhere, plus the additional 3 we started with. The question is, assuming these keywords all get some searches, and we know that they do, the question is how many keywords with real profitable volume could you really rank for if you grouped all these terms into one topic and made a topic relevant piece of content that catered for all of them? Before I answer, hear this thing. You got to understand that the people searching for all those keywords we looked at, they are all looking for the exact same information. All right? Some of them might want to find a chart, and some might want to find a site. Some are looking for multi-dog insurance, some single dog insurance. Some want it in Australia, some want it in Canada. Some want dog health insurance, some want dog walking insurance. But pretty much they're all looking for the same thing, a place to compare dog insurance quotes. That's it. If you knew how, you could create content that would target all of those keywords and potentially more, because I gave you a tiny sample of how many there actually are. And remember, those keywords people are paying $10 a visitor for. It may be the case that you can make more than $10 for each one of them that you get to your site, and it may turn out that rather than 10, when you're actually exposing yourself to the full set of those keywords, of which there could be 50 or more, you could be looking at more like 1,000 people in a month rather than 10. Just a completely different number. Now, the question is, let me answer this. How many keywords could you possibly rank for if you did this and made your content in this way and targeted these topics? Well, I don't know the answer for the dog insurance comparison market, because that's not a market that I'm in. But I can tell you that possibly the answer is 421. Because that's how many keywords our little example site ranked for, with only 15 pages of content. And that's how it did that, okay? With exactly the technique that we've described. So let me finish this off and hopefully make you even more excited about this. So the secret is that these keywords that I was just showing you, they're the easiest to rank for because no one's targeting them, okay? So many of those terms, they didn't come up in any of the marketers' tools, so they got overlooked. A lot of people thought they didn't have enough volume to make them worth targeting because they were thinking about it in terms of individual keywords rather than topics and groups, so they didn't bother targeting them. A lot of times Google has nothing to rank, or basically nothing to rank for these particular keywords. So just by publishing a piece of content where you mention one of those keywords prominently, you can find yourself ranking quickly for those keywords. They're the easiest to rank for because no one's targeting. So imagine if it were the case that there were all these new keywords that you could be ranking for very quickly and very easily that were really worth real money that you could get access to simply by publishing content. We're not even talking about building backlinks yet or creating this perfect website that has high authority. This is just like that. Guys, I hope it sort of makes sense why this is so exciting right now. But we must move on. So guys, the next example I want to show you is about a different kind of site. That was an affiliate site, the first one. This one is an e-commerce site. So it's a site that sells its own products. This site was able to pull $3,507 in new monthly revenue out of thin air in 2 weeks because of some changes we made to that site. This is an established e-commerce site. It was up and running and selling its products already. It was doing reasonably well. To create this result, we implemented only on-site adjustments. That means we added no new content to this site and no new backlinks. The traffic you're going to see is all free traffic on this shot. So this is a screenshot from Google Analytics on this site. The orange period is the previous period's traffic, and the blue line, is the current periods of traffic, or the most recent one anyway. This is the place where the change was made just before the start of this year, and the increase you can see there on the blue line, it really kind of took a boost. Because of that 2 weeks, you'll see the traffic is fairly close up until then. Because of that 2 weeks, the site's traffic increased 19.22%. It's pretty good, and the revenue you can see their goal. They have the conversion goal set up in Google Analytics, so you can see a 25% almost increase in revenue, and the numbers are a bit small, but I hope you can see it's $3,507.25. That's from there to there. That's in 2 weeks on this site. Okay. Once again, we're not just here to talk about the results. I want to show you how this happened. All right. Remember, no new backlinks and no new content. Guys, this is technique number 2. Technique number 2 is to stop putting up WordPress blogs and using random SEO plugins and thinking that your on-site optimization is taken care of. So because some people have asked, I don't mean to stop using WordPress blogs, and I don't mean to stop using SEO plugins. It's just that you have to stop thinking that just by doing those two things that your on-site optimization is taken care of, because it's really not. In the internet of 2014, Google pays more attention to on-site optimization than it ever has done before. Because they're decreasing their focus on backlinks, and you can now rank with less backlinks than you could before, they're increasing their focus on on-site optimization. The scary thing is this. Right now, if you have a site or if you're about to make one, there's going to be errors on your site that Google sees but that you do not see. I'm not talking about broken links or 404 errors. I'm not talking about missing tags or any of that. I'm talking about other kind of errors that Google knows are there that you won't see from the front end of your site, and that Google is using to hold back the rankings of your site. Not to punish you, but to judge that your site is not as high quality as it might be. Another change that's happened in the search engines in the last couple of years is that Google has taken a view of sites now where it's not just every page is looked at individually. Instead, a whole site is looked at according to the total of its pages. And if you have a site that has a lot of good quality content, that does a lot of great things, that really provides value for the people who use it, but you have a percentage of pages that you probably can't see, that you don't know about, that are really low quality, that are kind of junky, that aren't providing and that cannot provide any value to Google searches, Google will use that to hold back the rankings of not just the junky pages, but all the pages on your site. Okay? Now, I can tell you, after having looked at hundreds of sites in the last, for a lot of different people and different kinds of business models in the last 12 months, that everyone thinks they have a clean site. Everyone thinks that Google likes their site and that they're not making any mistakes. 90% of them are wrong. And they're actually making one of about 5 really big mistakes with their on-page optimization. And Google is using those mistakes to hold back their sites in the search engines. What I'm saying is that if you know what those mistakes are and you can fix them, a website can make rapid increases in traffic with a very small amount of work. Guys, that's the way that we were able to increase that site that I just showed you, increases traffic by 20% and its revenue by $3,500 every month. This is how. By fixing a couple of these 5 major mistakes that the site was making with its on-site optimization. Very rapid increases in traffic are possible. So the question is, what kind of mistakes? What are the mistakes and how can you fix them? Let me show you. This, guys, is a live example. I'm going to flick straight over to my browser now. I'm going to show you an example of what I'm talking about. So this is a website. This is not my site, and it's not the site that I was talking about just there. This is just an interesting website. This is a content site. They monetize with advertising. They do some affiliate marketing. They have their own web store and some other things as well. But this is a big site. This is an authoritative site, a site that actually does okay overall, as far as I can see in the search engines. This is a site with quality content, like authoritative contributors, a site that is active on social media. They do proper email marketing. Like, it's visually very appealing. This is just a good site, at least on the surface of it. I've made a lot of affiliate sites over the years, and none of them have looked as good as this. None of them have been as good as this, probably. What I want to show you is that this site is doing some really bad things that the website owners themselves probably don't even know about, but that Google sees and is using them to hold back this site's rankings in the search engines. Here's how we can find this out. So what I want you to do, not right now, but note this down and do it after the presentation. You can come to Google and do a search that looks like this: site:/yourwebsite.com. Now, this technique has been around for a long time, has been used for different purposes, but the thing that we have to look at now, the thing we do with this, is to look at look for a particular kind of thing. When you're doing this search, you want to come to your settings button over on the side here and change this to advanced settings to make it as quick as possible. And with the advanced settings, you want to change it to show 100 results per page instead of the normal 10. When you do that, you run this search, and Google, what we're seeing here is everything Google has indexed for this particular site. Okay, this is all the pages. Google has in its index 6,000 pages of this website. So like I said, it's a big site. It's pretty authoritative. And you can scroll through this list and you can see what all of those pages are. I'm going to go just quickly back to page number 1 here to show you how this works. So at the top, the first things you'll see are the most important pages of this site. It's like the home pages here, their web store is here, the newsletter pages here, and so on. As you scroll down this list, if you know what to look for, you start to see some things that are a little bit weird. So first note that all of these pages look fairly normal. They have like a normal title there, which says something about the page, and they have a normal description, which is like text and a sentence that describes what's on that page. If you keep scrolling though, it starts to look more weird. Look at this, for example. This site doesn't have a proper description. Or this page rather, no proper description. It just has this. Like these other pages have a proper description. This one is it possible to be less intelligent in group settings? These ones do not have that. They just say the title of the site and then the tagline of the site. Interesting. It would be bad to me already, but we can see this same thing replicated. So this same page, these are different pages, but they have the same description. Interesting. If you scroll further, you can see more of these. Different page, same description. This, and there's more of these. You can keep going down the list. There's another one here. This might seem like nothing. It might seem, if you're not aware of this stuff, it might seem like, who cares? That page is probably not getting any traffic. No one's probably seeing that in the search engines. Why does that matter? Well, the reason that matters is that is called duplicate content. Alright? Despite the fact that it's one sentence, and despite the fact that it is only on this few pages of the site, that is duplicate meta descriptions. And Google is using that to put a cross next to this site, not an ultimate cross, but like a tick in the naughty column, to say that this site is not as high quality as it could be. That's a bad mistake. Google's holding back this site's rankings because of that. That's one kind of mistake, but there are others as well. In fact, a number more. If you scroll through these pages, you see other things that are weird too. In order to make this as quick as possible, I've done like a cooking show and kind of prepared this earlier for you. You will find these kind of pages, and what you're looking for is just any page that looks weird. You're looking for pages that when you see them, you have to say, there's no chance of that page providing any value to any Google searcher. And if you see them, your site probably is in a little bit of trouble, even if you don't realize it. So what I pulled up here was some of the other pages of this site that are ranking, that are really weird. And you can scroll through as many as you want. But take a look at this. This is a page that I found ranking. Google thinks that this website has tried to add value to its searches by creating this page. It's not even a page. This is a weird flash graphic that is indexed as though it's a page. Google's looking at that and thinking, no, this is not providing value to anyone. I'm not only going to hold back this page, but I'm going to hold back the whole site a little bit. That's bad. Here's another kind of weird page on this site. This is like a search results page that's indexed and has its own unique URL here, but that has nothing on it. If you scroll, you will see there is no content here. There's ads and more ads and nothing. There's no chance of this page possibly providing value to anyone. Google knows that, and they're using it to hold back this site. Here is another one. This is another weird page. It has no content on it. It has ads and blank space, and actually this one has worse because it has bits of content from other pages on the site which it is repeating. It's more duplicate content. Google is seeing this and they're using it to hold back this site's rankings. Guys, there's a lot of this stuff on this site. Out of the 6,000 pages, these guys probably have 1,000 or more that are making one of these 5 mistakes. So suddenly Google's seeing 20% of your pages that are junk, essentially. That is really bad. Google is applying the brakes to a site because of that. And if you fix that, if you clean that up so that you only had in the search engines the most perfect stuff, the stuff that added the most value to Google's searches, your site would make a leap in traffic not dissimilar to the one we demonstrated.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay, I've just got a question of my own here. Okay, what happens if you've got a page that you can tell is bad by Google's terms, but from your own terms, it's going to make you money by having it there. Um, is it, like, let's say it's just optimized for conversions, and for some reason it's not good for Google themselves. Would you say that it's worthwhile to just put a no index on that page? Would that help? Like let's say you needed to have duplicate content for some unknown reason. I'm just throwing it out there. Or let's say
Sure.
there was a page that you just had to lay it out a certain way that you know Google's not going to like it, but with some sort of special video sales letter with an exit pop or whatever.
Yes.
Would just making it so that it wasn't indexable by the Google search engine, would that be helpful, or is that not the same thing as, say, taking it away altogether?
Sure. So the question is, does this page receive traffic from the search engines, or is it just an internal page that you've directed people to
Well, let's say it's
from your own source or not?
let's say it's an internal page that is still findable from within your site. So let's say it's still in your menu somewhere, but it does not receive direct traffic from the search engines at all. And let's say, you could make it even more clear by putting a no index on that page. Would
Yes.
that be incredibly helpful, or not really?
The answer is you must get rid of that page from Google's index, not get rid of it from your site, because like you said, you need it and it serves an important conversion function and it makes you money, but Google doesn't need to see it at all. Google doesn't like it. There's no chance of it providing value to Google searches, and it's doing things they don't like. You can add a no index, or you can block it out in your robots.txt. There's techniques that I wish we had time to talk about, but
Right.
we won't fully
Okay.
go into.
No,
but
no,
just so
I
you
just-
know, that
yeah.
that is what would happen. Yeah, that should be gone from Google's index, that kind of a page.
Yeah, I mean the kind of page that I know Google doesn't like it, because I know there's certain pages on my site that I can't, say, send AdWords traffic. It would get disapproved. So if I can't
Yes.
send AdWords traffic to it, then I kind of think, okay, well, maybe it's got bad SEO consequences as well.
Absolutely, Mark. Yeah, that's a pretty good indicator for the people who do pay traffic stuff. Like if Google's not going to accept it to send traffic to from AdWords, then there's good reasons why, and they're probably not going to like it. In fact, almost certainly not going to like
Yeah.
it in the search engines either.
I just want to mention one thing to people just to be aware with Google. They are not a moral police. It's like they have their rules, but it isn't morally based as much as they try to say that it is. Because if it was, then they would apply the same rules throughout all of Google, no matter what country you're searching from. Just for instance, you can't advertise a fake blog in the United States. They say it's to do with not being evil and that sort of thing. But yet they allow it. If you're in New Zealand and I go on the search engines and Google AdWords, there are loads of fake blogs still there. The same sites that they won't allow in the United States. Or if you go and do it in another language, all of these sites are still there. That they don't allow, say, in America. So, just bear in mind you're dealing with a company that is just simply maximizing their revenue whilst minimizing any chances of lawsuits from, say, the FTC or places like that. And you'll beat yourself up if you keep trying to think about, morally they should be doing this, and they make if you. It can get frustrating if you think of any moral arguments to do with them, because really they're not really being moral. That's just a PR stunt. They're really just, maximizing minimizing their risk. Because otherwise they would, if it was a moral stance, they would do it everywhere. I could be in New Zealand and I would see the same sites that got kicked out in America would have been kicked out of New Zealand as well. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention. I'll let you carry on because I don't want to distract from what you're doing. That was a good answer.
No. Yeah, no, it's true, Mark, and I'm glad you mentioned it actually, because the reality is that people, like everyone listening, can get more free traffic and make more money if they understand that fact about the way Google works. Like if you know what it is that they are trying to achieve and you can help them achieve that, you can, like, everyone can do better. Not trying to fight against them, not trying to sneak through their back doors and wait till they catch you doing something wrong, but knowing what their motives are, what their goals are, and doing the right thing by that. Yeah, we can all do better. So that's fairly important, guys. I hope that makes sense, that technique, and I hope you guys get a chance to go away and do that on your own sites and try to look at some of the junk that you have indexed and try to remove that. So I want to talk to you now finally about a third site. This is story number 3. This is a website of it's a small website and a small business where a guy with our help generated $100,000 in new revenue in 8 weeks from free search engine traffic. Now, this is the kind of example. I don't put this here to say to you, if you do things right with your search engine marketing, you can make $100,000 in 8 weeks. It's not like that. This guy has a quite specific scenario where he sells a very high-end product, so he makes a lot of money with each individual sale. But the reason I show you this example is to try to give you a sense of what's really possible by increasing your traffic by only a small amount of the very most highly targeted visitors, the real buyers, bringing the people to your site who are both ready to buy and ready to spend the highest possible amount of money. So this website, in order to achieve this result, it made some of the previous on-site changes, fixing some of those mistakes that we talked about, and it also built a small number of high-quality backlinks. We're going to talk about that shortly as well. This site started with a small amount of traffic. In the beginning, it was averaging 25 visitors per day, and that's all. I'll show you here the screenshot from this particular site. So in the orange bar is, again, the old traffic and the old period, the previous one, and the blue line is the new period's traffic. The changes we implemented started about here. And in that period, these were responsible for an increase of traffic that was 42%, which is pretty cool. The site went from averaging around 25 visitors a day, actually a little bit lower, to more like 30 visitors a day. So it increased by about 10 visitors a day. But they were very highly targeted visitors. They were the people who were most ready to buy this particular product. Now, this is a small business, and this is a real guy, and I don't have access to his bank account, so I can't show you the $100,000. But in his private communications with us, this guy revealed that in that time, over that period of 8 weeks, this traffic, 10 visitors a day, was responsible for $100,000 in new revenue. Scale that back and think about it in your own site's terms, or in terms of the niches or the kind of sites you are looking to set up at the moment. What would it mean to be able to make even additional $1,000 a week or $1,000 a month from 10 visitors a day? I mean, anyone can do this. We're not talking about a mountain of traffic here. So it's the same as everything on this presentation. I want to talk to you about how. What's the technique? By what method was this result possible? The answer is this. First, remember, it increased only by the most targeted traffic. The technique here is a link building one. We haven't talked about that, so I want to try to give you some information on that here too. The technique was to have used low volume, high quality, high variation, hands-off link building. So what I mean, that's something specific by each of those terms. Low volume, I mean not a large number of links. Remember, you don't need many links to rank anymore. High quality, meaning the links all came from websites that were that Google already thought to be very highly targeted. Third, high variation, so links coming from different websites, not all from the same site. And 4, hands-off link building. So not the kind of links that you have to go out there and hustle really hard, spend time trying to acquire. The kind of sites that, rather the kind of links that if you know what you're doing, it's a matter of asking the right people, and sometimes you pay for these links, and that's all. Okay, the link happens automatically from that point. So specifically, the technique that we've been using, or one of them anyway, it's a technique that's existed for some time, but I believe from our results it has increased in its effectiveness in the last 12 months. The technique is to get blog posts from high page rank blogs that link to your site. So this is to get a piece of content that you've created or someone's created for you to be placed on another website, like a blog which has a high page rank and may be related to your niche, but doesn't necessarily have to be very related, and have that piece of content contain a link back to your website with an anchor text that you can control. We've found consistently that 10 to 15 of these done properly with quality content in having those properties that I just described above, drip fed daily, so like one per day, one at a time for 10 days to 2 weeks, this can make an enormous impact on a site's traffic. That's the kind of links that were responsible for the result that I talked to you about previously, and the kind of links that are responsible for very similar sites and similar kinds of results. This is working very consistently. Now the thing is, with these kinds of links, there are many places you can get them from, but most of those places are not worth getting them from. To do this well, you have to know a little bit about how to look and how to locate the private individuals that have these private blogs that will let you have a piece of content on their site in exchange for a link. If I had my way, we would have more time on this presentation to be able to get into more specifically how to do that. But for now, just understand that that's how that happens, and it's very effective. The last word on these kind of links is very important because it's another reason why it's easier to do this work now than it has been in the past. Previously, in order to rank in the search engines, you had to build a lot of backlinks to your site with the keywords, with an anchor text, meaning the word that's clickable, being a keyword that you wanted to rank for. Well, now that's not really so important. And that's a great thing for us because it means less work. Now you don't have to be very specific with your anchor texts really at all. You can afford to mix them up almost completely, so there's no real pattern. So for example, the best results come from getting multiple kinds of links, some of which might contain the anchor text, which is a keyword either that you want to rank for or just a broad keyword in your niche. Some of the links will contain an anchor text that is just a random word or a phrase, like click here or website or something else. And some of the keywords, some of the links rather, have anchor texts that are like your own name or your pseudonym in a niche, or your website's name or your website's URL. And amongst those, you just mix things up freely, so there's no real pattern. This is what Google expects to see when they look at a site's backlinks who's not trying very hard to do backlinking. This is a natural link profile. This is not the kind of thing that Google's going to look at and be like, hey, that's not right. That site's not going to be allowed to rank. This is doing exactly what is playing by Google's rules, and that's why they reward it so strongly. What's best is that it doesn't, like, this is not a large amount of work anymore. You used to have to build hundreds of backlinks to get these kind of rankings and get traffic. You don't have to do that. I'm going to show you a really cool example of a site that's profiting from that idea in a moment. So, guys, it is question time again. Came around quick, yikes. Someone else is going to win $100 cash in a very short moment. I'm going to type a question on the screen. First person who answers it after the question has appeared is going to win $100 cash to your PayPal account. Ladies and gentlemen, here it comes. Question is, what do you search in Google to find junk pages that are holding back a site's rankings?
Wow, that's scrolling off the screen. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up. Sorry, you read the answer while I'm just scrolling back up to find who won it.
We will accept anything that started with site : because that's the real key.
Okay.
Site :
first person was Carol Rogers.
Oh, Carol, congratulations. That was a lot of answers just then.
Yep, so Carol,
yep.
You can just give us your PayPal and you'll get PayPal'd $100 cash. Awesome. Well done.
Congratulations, Carol. Nicely done. I'm clapping you. Everyone, congratulate Carol.
It's funny. Everybody's like a bunch of preschoolers, basically. You're like, you get the one person winning the prize who's happy, and everyone else is like, oh. It's all funny. Oh no, there's a few people clapping now and saying "Go Carol," which is great.
Well done, guys. Let's be adults. All right, guys. Let's continue. So, guys, it's unfortunate because we have a limited amount of time, but what I can't handle is the idea that you might leave us tonight thinking that these results that we've talked about are isolated incidents, that this is 3 sites that I happen to have done well with, but this is not really common. Guys, if nothing else, please understand these are not isolated results. This stuff right now, if you know what you're doing. And if you're looking, this is happening everywhere. It's happening right now. It's happening in your market if you have an existing site, and it's happening in the market that you want to enter if you're about to start a new site. I'm going to slam you with some more examples to try and pack in as much as I can, because you really need to understand this. So you want to talk about new sites? Let's talk about another one. This is a site that went from $0 to $8,180 in sales in the first 6 weeks from free search engine traffic. Here is the site. The orange line is his old traffic. Blue line's the new traffic. You will see that a lot of days the site was just getting 0. Like, it was a really new site, new business. He was just kind of kicking things off. In that period of 6 weeks, the site's traffic increased by 137%. That's pretty good. It was a small amount of traffic when it started. It's not a huge amount of traffic when it finished, but that represented a big change. Most importantly, this was very targeted buying traffic. This guy, his name's Liam. He told us, he sent this email to us. I've tried to protect his privacy. He said that since the implementation of the SEO that we did for him, he has generated an additional £5,000. He's a British guy. This is $8,180 in business that he otherwise simply wouldn't have obtained. So, interesting. $0 to $8,000 in 6 weeks. That's pretty cool. We can talk about existing sites more if you want. Here is an existing site that increased 39% in traffic in 8 weeks. Okay, what does that mean? Well, this was an existing blog. It was established and doing quite well. To achieve this result, to grow traffic by 40%, thousands of new visitors you're going to see shortly. We use no new backlinks. That's none of that kind of work, and only on-site changes. Okay, same as in story 2 that we talked about, fixing those mistakes, taking the brakes off. This site was able to use that stuff to generate 80,000 targeted new visitors in that period of 8 weeks. Here's the shot. So this guy had a good site. He was getting a lot of traffic to begin with, but things just rocketed after we started implementing this stuff. It happened at the beginning of this period, and you will see that over the course of that 8 weeks, it went from it increased 38.75%, which represented 80,000 visitors to this guy. Now, you might look at that and think, well, my site doesn't get that much traffic, so I wouldn't be able to increase my traffic that much. But you have to understand, this site, like, this result is not predicated on something this site was doing before. Actually, it was doing things wrong before. It could have been getting this level of traffic all along, and it was by fixing those mistakes that it was making that the site shot up. If your own traffic, like if you were able to add even a tiny fraction of that, like a couple of thousand targeted buying visitors, 1,000 targeted buying visitors a month to your site, the amount of money that you could add to your income from that is remarkable. It all depends on what niche you're in and how much you make per sale. Here's another example, guys. Here's a site that gets a significant amount of traffic every day from the search engines with 5 backlinks. That's it. This is a 7-page website. It's tiny. It ranks for 103 different key phrases. So around about 15 key phrases per piece of content it ranks for. They are all product name keywords. And this is all free traffic. So I'm not just talking about random people coming to the site. These are people who are ready to purchase the product this site sells. Here is the traffic from this particular site. You will see from July 2013 up until January, just a couple of weeks ago. Steady increase in traffic. It's around about 6,000 visitors a month right now, and it just had its highest period ever. It's not a huge amount of traffic, but why I get so excited about this site is that that was achieved with 4 backlinks. When I created this, I remembered it as having 5 backlinks. When I checked again, it actually only had 4. What you have to imagine if you're listening is, imagine if you were able to add 75 or 100 product name, like buying visitors every day to your website just by building 4 backlinks. There's not a person listening who is unable to achieve that result. This is easy. Anyone could do that very same thing. We can talk further about this, guys. Here's another site. This is a small site that last year in 2013, when other people thought that search engine traffic wasn't working anymore, generated 404,896 free, highly targeted visitors from the search engines. This is an affiliate site too. This is 50 pages and it's a blog. This site gets traffic entirely from targeted long-tail keywords. Okay, this was happening, like I said, well, other people thought that SEO wasn't working anymore. Here's the shot from the analytics on this site. You'll see I tried to zoom in on the date there and the numbers just to make it clearer for you. Over the course of the year, the site pulled in, like I said, 404,896 free targeted visitors. That's only from Google as well. You'll see the other search engines down here also delivered the site almost 18,000 targeted visitors as well. It's, for a small site like most of us have, it's just such a ridiculous amount of traffic. It's 33,000 visitors a month. It's more than 1,000 a day. 1,000 people every day showing up at the doorstep of your site, having come from a targeted long-tail keyword, ready to purchase something, ready to opt into your list, ready to buy from your store. The difference that this makes to a business, to your bottom line, we can't even exaggerate it if we try. It's remarkable in the most literal sense. So I want to ask you guys quickly at this point of the presentation, like, I know I've had limited time and I've had to try to make this as clear as I could as quickly as possible, but is it kind of starting to make sense now? Like, do you understand why I think there is such a big opportunity for easy free traffic right now? Is it kind of clear? And feel free to type your answer in the question box. I would like to see the feedback. Do you understand? Like, is it clear why so many people are doing free traffic wrong and why they're finding it so difficult? And is it clear how quickly and how easily free traffic can be obtained when things are done properly? I've tried to give you as many examples as possible, and I hope, and now I can see that we're getting a lot of yeses, and I appreciate that. That's really, yeah, that's awesome. A lot of yeses. Yeah, cool, guys. I appreciate that. That's good. It's hard to try to make this point to you really clearly in an hour, but the fact that you're getting this really means a lot to me. So let's continue. Let me try to make this more personal now. So it's great to talk about these sites of mine, of our clients, of other people's that have made this money, but let's make this personal. Let's ask the question about you now. So what would it take, this is the question, what would it take for you to add $50,000 per year to your business or to your income from free traffic? This is a little calculation that I like to do that helps to put this question in perspective and help you to understand whether or not it might be possible for you to achieve something just like what I've demonstrated. So what you do is this. You start with $50,000 per year. That's where we want to get to in this hypothetical scenario. $50,000 a year is $4,080 per month. It's $136 per day. Next, what you have to do is take your average sale value. So if you have a site that's set up now, put down the amount of money that it makes when you make a sale on average. If it makes different kinds, just take an average value. If you're looking to start a new site and you're not making sales currently, take a nominal value. So take something like $20, just a standard kind of affiliate commission that you might earn promoting a product on ClickBank. The calculation that you do, and the question we want to answer is, if that was the case, according to those average numbers, how many sales would we have to make to earn our $50,000 a year? So the answer is, it's less than 7. It's actually closer to 6 sales per year. Oh, sorry, that would be nice. 6 sales per day it is, at $20 per sale. If you could make 6 sales per day, $20 a sale, you'd be able to make $50,000 per year. The reason I like doing this calculation is because when you start out, the number of 50,000 seems very big. But when you break it down and try to understand exactly what is going to be required to achieve that kind of result, it doesn't actually look so daunting. So 6 sales per day, when you have a lot of targeted buying traffic, it doesn't require you to get that many visitors. So the question that follows from this is, if that's what it takes to add $50,000 per year, like, how possible is that? Is that reasonable? Is it possible for someone like you, if you're listening, or is that kind of out of reach? Well, the question, the answer rather, and what I've tried to make clear on this presentation is that you already saw. You saw how possible this is. So we looked at this site. You remember it? Story number 1. We went from $0 to $8,000 on that site, 8,800 actually, in its first 60 days. That amount is more than the $4,080 a month. That is $50,000 a year. And that was done with free search engine traffic. That actually only took the 60 days. That will probably exceed that amount quite significantly in the end. But that happened, and we talked about how that was possible. So you saw that. You saw story number 2. You saw that guy who, in 2 weeks, just by making changes on site to his structure, he increased by $3,507 every month. That one's a little bit lower than the required $4,000, but that's pretty close. That's almost $50,000 a year. And we talked about what created that. You saw that it was not content, not even new backlinks, just making some changes on site. So you saw that that was possible. You saw Liam, the other guy, $0 to $8,180 in 6 weeks actually. So that one's more than $4,000 a month, quite significantly. But once again, that is more than $4,000 a month. That is $50,000 a year from only free traffic. That particular result was achieved in 6 weeks. So what I really hope is that you will leave this presentation today with the sense that really there's nothing about achieving something like that, adding $50,000 a year per year to your income, that's incredibly difficult. It's possible for normal people. It's happened time and time again if you know what you're doing right now and if you're following the right strategy. So myself and Alex, we have some fairly good reasons to believe that it is possible to guarantee that success for you. I believe that for 3 reasons. So I've been doing this long enough now, like we've done that ourselves. I've grown my own business with free traffic to that level. Alex has done the same, and both of us now many times over. So I know the process very intimately. Further, I've helped others to do that already. You've seen some of them on the presentation today, but there are many more that we didn't have time to share. But I've helped other people do that, to add $50,000 a year to their income, so I know a lot about what that takes. Thirdly, I know what it takes to repeat that, because it's once a certain strategy is in place, it's only a matter of doing the same things again, doing them in a different market, doing them in your market, and the same result can be achieved. The search engines work on principles like that. They continually reward the same stuff, so results can be replicated like that very easily. So Alex and I are doing something at the moment that's a little bit crazy, and I want to tell you guys about it, because if you understand what we've been talking about today, you should want to take advantage of this. It's natural to see that there's an opportunity for easy traffic and easy money. You should want to take advantage of this, and we think we can help to do that. So what we're doing right now is we are opening a small exclusive private group in order to mentor people to at least $1,000 a month minimum in new income from easy free search engine traffic. What we're doing is an 8-week intensive coaching program. It's designed to attain extreme results, kind of like we've talked about today in this presentation and more, in the search engines in the next few months. This is not a thing that's like a product that I'm releasing. This is not open to the public. This is a special thing that I've done for my own list and for a couple of friends of mine, of which Mark is one. What it involves is the techniques that we've implemented on all the sites you've seen today, the full set of techniques, the step-by-step, and in addition, personal assistance from us in putting those techniques into action. So we're going to take a small group of people through this process, and this is what that group of people is going to get. So the first thing is we're going to be running a private 8-week web class. It starts next Monday on February the 3rd. In the web class, you're going to receive 100 over-the-shoulder videos demonstrating every technique, the things that we've talked about today, plus many, many more. Everything you need to achieve fast, easy search engine traffic at the moment. It's going to cover 8 training modules, 1 per week.
Just a sec, is that 100 1-hour videos, or are you talking 100 bite-sized videos?
Yes, 100 bite-sized videos,
Cool.
just long enough to show you the technique that you need to implement, and that's all.
Cool.
I wouldn't talk to you for 100 hours. So it covers 8 training modules over the 8 weeks. It's the kind of thing, it's step-by-step. you follow the steps, you copy it, and you replicate the results. It contains full action checklists. So you tick off the items one after another, and you watch your results growing slowly. This is a kind of program that, the value of this program is $997, period. Like I said, Alex is not an internet marketing guy. He doesn't share this kind of knowledge to anyone normally. To have two experts to have their exact system documented completely, the value of this is $997 conservatively. Probably it's more. What's going to happen over the course of that 8 weeks is we're going to show you really the 8 steps. There's a number of videos, but let me break them down quickly just to summarize this for you. We're going to start off by showing you how to find the area of your market where the easiest money can be made, the place where you can rank as quickly as possible and start making money very fast. Secondly, we're going to show you how to fix up your websites, or to create the perfect website if you're starting from scratch, to release those breaks and make Google understand that you have a perfect site. If you can do that, people start to watch their traffic rise very, very quickly, just like I showed you in story number 2. The following week, we're going to show you how to turn the absolute highest number of your visitors into buyers, so that you can achieve the kind of result we talked about where 10 new visitors can result in thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. This kind of thing is possible. Module 4, I'm going to show you how to diversify your presence online so that you can bring very fast free traffic to your site. I'm talking about the possibilities for bringing targeted buying visitors to your site in under a week. This is possible. It's happening right now. Module 5, I'm going to show you how to get maximum traffic from minimum backlinks, how to make any site rank. It's a spreadsheet of steps. You do this, this, then this, and any site can rank and start getting targeted visitors immediately. Module 6 is how to make a site's Google traffic keep growing and growing. So how to scale things up and capitalize on new possibilities continually and without having to do a whole lot of work for it. Number 7, in Module 7, I'm going to show you how to analyze what's working, what's ranking in your market, and copy existing success in order to scale up your profits only where the easiest money can be made. This is how you do this stuff, guys. This is how you make this work quickly and easily. And Module 8 in the last week, it's kind of a ninja module. I can't talk to you about what we do there. It won't make sense until you're in that week and you hear it, but this is the kind of SEO training that exists nowhere on the internet. Literally no one teaches this at the moment. You can learn it in this module. So guys, component number 2, and this is the most important part I think, is live weekly mentoring calls. So what's going to happen is that we work up close and personal with you on your sites in a very small group setting, so the privacy is high. For 2 or 3 hours every week, you will get on a coaching call with us in this small group, and you will have your microphone connected. You will have the ability to ask us questions, to get instant feedback, and solve any problem that you have. This is to ensure that you never make a mistake, that every week the steps are getting done, they're getting ticked off, and you're just watching your traffic and your income increase. We are there watching your progress, pushing you through each step, preventing any possibilities for you to get things wrong. This includes personal email access to us, where me and Alex will be there for you, not a support desk, to reply to you on any matter that you like. Okay, now, to have 2 professionals that have the proven track record that Alex and I have, and who can demonstrate these results so clearly and have helped so many people to achieve them, to have 2 people to mentor you through a business model and through a process like this for a period of 8 weeks, the value of that, conservatively estimated, is $2,997. I mean, people pay for like high quality mentoring on how to make more money like this in the search engines. People pay thousands of dollars for hourly calls. This is conservative, but to have professionals by your side every week, just hours on the phone to us, conservatively, this is worth $2,997. Now, the truth is, and I know this because I've seen it happen, with this alone, with just these 2 things, with our exact strategy, our exact blueprint for creating these results, and us mentoring you through it, us guiding you through the process, with that alone, you could reach $1,000 a month, and quickly. We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen even with less than that. So I mean, with the full 8-week web class containing every technique, valued at $997, and with 2 professional SEOs and mentors spending hours with you every week, just guiding you through the whole process, valued at $2,997. With that alone, you could make this happen. You could get to $1,000 a month in new income with that, without any problem. If that was all that we were doing, you could make that result. Okay, and the total value of that is $3,994. And if you were spending that much, you could make an incredible return on that amount of money. That's if that was all we were doing. In fact, what we're doing is a little bit more than that. So the third component that people in this group are going to receive is what's called work done for you. What you will get is access to our full private outsource team. I'm talking about a team of people that we ourselves have put together over years of having done this stuff. A group of people that can help you do any part of the process so that if you want, you don't have to. All right? The first part of this is that you will receive for free a high-powered link building package. I'm talking about the kind of backlinks that got that guy an extra 10 visitors a day that generated the $100,000. These are the same kind of backlinks that guy had. You get them, a full package of them for free. Our team will build those links and work on your sites for you. Even more than that, you will receive, like I said, access to our full personal outsource staff. So I'm talking about people who can complete any part of the process for you, and professionals who can do it better than you can do it yourself. So if there is something that you don't have time to do, or you just don't want to do, you don't like it, you're not good at it, you can click a button and have someone do that technique for you as part of this program. This never happens. Like, we've literally opened our own outsourcing team. Like the lady who wrote the content of that first site that we talked about, the 0 to 8,833 profit site, that lady is available to you to write the exact same kind of content for your market. It's literally never happened. Guys, with that, like, this takes years to build up. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and outsourcing just on your own is not the same as this. The value of this kind of thing, like your own team to do the stuff for you, conservatively estimated, this is worth $1,997. Okay, these people, by the way, is not just access for the 8-week web class. You will get permanent access to these. We have opened these guys up for you for as long as you need them. You can use them as much or as little as you like. Guys, if with the 3 things that I've talked about, now we're talking about anyone having the possibility to create a new $1,000 a month from free search engine traffic, even if they couldn't do the work themselves. Okay, so even if something prevented you from actually doing the stuff yourself, now we're talking about the possibility for you to be able to build up a new $1,000 a month anyway. So now we're talking about, you've got the 8-week web class, the whole strategy, every technique at $997. You've got 2 professional SEOs and mentors who are going to spend hours with you every week guiding you through the whole process, valued at $2,997. And you've got your own private done-for-you outsource team who can perform any task within the program so that if you want, you don't have to do it yourself, valued at $997. Guys, if you had that, the value of this now, we're talking about $5,991. And if you had that and you did everything right, you could still make your investment back very, very quickly with this stuff and just start profiting. Just from there, just every month is just money in your pocket. If that was all we were doing, that would be worth $5,991, and you could create results like we talked about today, even if you weren't going to do all the work. But the crazy thing is that that's not even all. What you will also receive in this group is access to the Institute community, it is called. This contains 3 things. You're going to receive access to a private members lounge where you will have the ability to mingle with the smartest search engine marketers on the internet, sharing ideas, sharing insights on free, easy traffic generation. You will get access to the private Rankings Institute Facebook group where you can keep in daily contact with other members, following people's progress, sharing their tips, getting updates from us, all in real time. You will also get a special connection to what we call your inner circle. So this is going to be a connection to a group of people who are at the same level as you online. A group of people that you can network with, that you can motivate each other, keep each other accountable, and you can help succeed together. This is to prevent any possibility that you will not get the result. You will not get to $1,000 a month in new income over this 8 weeks. With this as well, it is literally impossible. To get connected up to a networking group of other smart, like-minded people, people pay much more money than this for it, in truth, and you just can't find it. If you were going out and trying to find a group of people trying to achieve exactly the same thing as you, who are smart and resourceful and experienced, you couldn't even find it. There's not a place you can go to do that, not in privacy and with trust and real connection. The value of this conservatively is $997, that full access to that community. That is a part of the program as well. The last component is an important one too. Finally, what you receive is support from us until you're earning $1,000 a month. New revenue from your free traffic. This means that we're just going to stick with you. We're just going to keep working on your stuff until you're getting that result. This is for a small group of people that we're able to do this, but that's what we're committing to doing. So this means ongoing support. This means we stick with you until you have absolutely the results that you want from this. It means ongoing support from us and from the community, and lifetime access to that members club. That's lifetime access to the lounge and the Facebook group and the forum and the outsourced staff and everything forever. The value of this, I mean, this is a low number really, but to have the support of people continuously, just month after month there, that you can ask questions to: how do I take my business to the next level? How do I add a new income stream to things with free traffic from here? To have someone that you can continually ask those questions to. Conservatively, once again, the value is $1,997 for that support, but that is a guarantee. Guys, the thing about this is, and you probably get it now, like, this is not the kind of program for everyone. This is not something that everyone's going to get a chance to be a part of, because we don't have the capacity for that. So, like I said earlier, I've opened this program to my own list and to a small group of my friends, and Mark is one of those people. Like I said, there's no place that you can join this outside of the webinar. This is a very private, very small group program. On this webinar, I have 100 spaces that I can open, and no more. We're starting this class next week on February 3rd. We need everyone in, just ready to get started, to start getting traffic. Now, there's 2 caveats on this that are important as well. First, we can only accept people who are committed. Like, I mean, if you have a busy couple of weeks coming up and you're not going to be able to get the work done, this is not for you. We just can't make that work. If we need people that are happy to have their results shared. So I don't mean your website URL or your name or your photo. I just mean that you have to be happy that when you achieve your success with this and you have some new free traffic and some fantastic new income, you have to be happy that we can use your income screenshots to show to other people, to say, like, hey, look at this guy. This is John. He was able to achieve this. He's making $1,000 a month now, and it only took him 60 days or whatever it was. You have to be happy for that to take place.
Okay,
Guys,
but they don't have to mention their last name or anything like that, or have their photo. So
no,
it's not out there for
not your personal details.
Right. Okay.
That's right, yeah. So, guys, the program we put together, it's called the Rankings Institute. It is open at the moment. To sum it up for you guys, you receive the 8-week web class. That's the 100 videos. That's the whole strategy, start to finish, step by step for you, all laid out there by 2 professionals who are doing this every day. That's valued at $997. You receive the weekly live private coaching webinars from us. That's 2 or 3 hours every week on the phone with us, valued at $2,997. That's 8 weeks of that. You get the done-for-you work and outsource team. So you get all the staff members, full access to them to use as much as you want, who can perform any task for the whole process for you if you do not want to. That includes the backlinking package for free as well. This is valued at $1,997. You get access to the Rankings Institute private community, which is the Facebook group, the members lounge, and your inner circle of 10 people really close to you that you connected to via private email. This is valued at $997. Finally, you receive the support until you reach $1,000 a month in new revenue. That is ongoing support. You can keep emailing us, keep asking questions. We will not stop until you are at that level of $1,000 a month minimum. That is valued at $1,997. Guys, the total value of this is $8,985. Now, this $8,985 is the amount of money that we should be charging for this, the amount of money that could be made back quickly and easily, properly following this system. I'm not going to charge you $8,985 today for this. Like I said, for a very small group of people, this is going to be opened up for one payment of $997 or 4 payments of $297. Those will be monthly payments. Guys, if you want to take advantage of this, you can join now with the link you see at the bottom of the screen. It's rankingsinstitute.com/ling. Now, because we are in a rush to get started with this, the program starts on Monday, I'm doing a fast action bonus. So there's something special for the first 10 people who join through that link you can see there. You're going to receive a private 20-minute one-on-one Skype call with me and Alex. You will get the chance to ask us any questions that you want. You can have us review your sites, ask us for advice, for tips, strategies, anything you like. Alex does these kind of consultations with like SEO agencies and other professionals and charges hundreds of dollars an hour for this kind of thing. If you are one of the first people to join through the link on screen there now, you will receive that private call with us for free. If you are one of the first 10, I will be able to notify you after the webinar to book in your call. But if you want to take advantage of that, you have to be in that 10. Please join now through rankingsinstitute.com/ling. Guys, the thing about the 100 spots, like I have to provide the warning that that's not a joke. That's something that absolutely has to take place because of the kind of training that we're providing here. If you do load up the link below and you see a sold out graphic, I apologize in advance. It just means the spots are taken. We are not able to accept any more people into the program. Like I said, the program starts on February 3rd. It's next Monday. We need people in and ready to start getting traffic immediately. There's a lot to be done and we want to get cracking. I don't mean to sound aggressive with this, but to prevent people from being upset, there are no exceptions. So we're providing such an intensive level of like hands-on training that above that number of people, we just can't do it. It's not possible for us. So once that number of spots is filled, the program is closed. And actually the program is closing regardless within another, I think it's 48 hours from now. So guys, this is for you if the following. If you have time in the next 8 weeks, if you are dedicated and you really want to make 2014 your year to build a massive new income with your free traffic, and you're happy for your results to be shared. If you want to start new websites or new income streams this year and you don't want to pay for traffic, it's for you. If you have new sites that you made in the past that you left stagnant, that have big potential for earnings, but they're just sitting around. If you have established websites that are getting some traffic, but you know they could get a lot more. And if you monetize with affiliate marketing, e-commerce, or your own physical products, this is for you. If that is you, I want you to join through that link that you see at the bottom of the screen there, rankingsinstitute.com/ling. Guys, as with everything, what I expect is that in the next 30 days you will be shocked and blown away by both the level of information you receive and the level of attention and support you receive. You may well be seeing results after that short period of time as well, new traffic and new income. If that is not the case for whatever reason, if you are not satisfied with what you've received, you will of course be entitled to a full 100% money back guarantee. We will send your money back with no questions asked. Guys, I hope I've made clear what's possible right now with free traffic and new income. You saw the site that went from $0 to $8,833 profit in 60 days. You saw the guy Liam who grew to $8,180 in sales from free traffic in 6 weeks. You saw the site that found $3,507 in new monthly revenue in 2 weeks. You saw the site that gets 75 product name visitors a day with only 4 backlinks. Guys, you saw the site that went from 25 to 35 visitors a day and generated $100,000 in new business in 8 weeks by doing that. You saw the little site that generated 404,896 free visitors from Google last year. Guys, I firmly believe that you will achieve this result because you'll be doing everything they did. And actually, you will have more, because those guys didn't have 2 or 3 hours on the phone with us every week. They didn't have the full access to a whole community and to our outsourcing stuff. You will achieve this because you'll be doing everything they did, but more. The link to join is rankingsinstitute.com/link. I don't expect the spaces in this to last very long. Mark, that's all out of me today. I would love to turn it over to you and take some questions from people.
Yeah,
I would love to help as much as I can.
Yeah, totally. Well, there's been so many people asking questions. I'm just going to scroll back through and have a look. I had one person saying that the link wasn't working, but I think that they might have typed it in without the S. But don't forget there's an S in rankingsinstitute.com/link. It is working from me testing it.
Great.
Personally, when it comes to hiring people for consultations, whenever I pay other people, because quite often, instead of say buying courses, and I do buy courses sometimes, but I more often wind up buying just straight out, I'll pay you per hour for you to just teach me the stuff. Normally I wind up paying $2,000 an hour, and there's maybe 3 or 4 people that I go to on a monthly basis that I'll pay the $2,000 for an hour of coaching. And and some people say, hey, that's not a real number, 2,000, who pays that? But once you're making money, that is a real number, and there's not too many people out there with the expertise, and it's worthwhile if you spend 2,000 and you make thousands extra back. The reason I was bringing that up was because you said for the first 10 people, they get a coaching call with you where you get on Skype with them for 20 minutes. So that's virtually, to me, if your time was worth $2,000 an hour, then that's just about worth the value of the coaching as it is, let alone the fact that you're getting everything else. I thought that was pretty generous of you because of the fact that that's one-on-one. The other thing that I really like about this, beyond the fact that you've got the coaching and the work done for you, which I think that it's worth it just for the work done for you as well. But the other thing I particularly like myself is the support until you're making $1,000 a month. So that means if you've got somebody that needs extra hand-holding, because some of your students may not even have a website at all yet. They might just be wanting to join and learn from you how to make a profitable website and then get to that point. And then they're going to probably have a lot of questions that might last longer than the 8 weeks. So the fact that you're supporting them until $1,000 a month's earned, does that mean that you will... What happens if it takes somebody like 9 months? Are you going to keep supporting them, or are you going to support them for 12 months or 15 months? I mean, I know it's not going to take most people that long. Most people are going to take the 8 weeks, maybe 12. But are you going to support them that long if that's what it took?
That's right, yeah. I've been saying to people that with this, we will outlast you. Like, we'll be there longer than you are. Like, if you've got questions in 8 months, like you had some interruption in your life, for example, you hadn't made things work yet, not only will you still have access to us and our support and our assistance, but you'll have access to the whole community as well. By that time, you will have built up friends. You will be learning from other people in the program to see, like, people who are in the same situation as you, who have achieved great results. You'll be able to copy them, and you'll still have your contact with them. Plus, your inner circle group of 10 people will be there to kind of spur you on. Like, the point of this is to remove all the possible ways that someone could not make this work. I was saying to someone earlier, like, I've been teaching this kind of stuff to people now for a long time, as you have, and when you've been doing this, like, you see the things that have the potential to stop people. Like, this is in theory possible for anyone, but things happen in life that prevent people, and if you can eliminate all those things, anyone can get the result. If you can eliminate, for example, the possibility of someone getting to a point where they don't know what to do next. If you eliminate that, you increase the number of people that succeed with this significantly. If you eliminate the possibility that someone doesn't have enough time to finish a particular task, if you eliminate that by giving them this access to staff that can get the work done for them when they don't have the time, the percentage of people increases once again. So what I've tried to do with this is make it so there's really no actual possibility that someone could be committed to this and go through it and not get the result. Now, and I should say, like, this is not like a push button software. This is not just going to happen. We need committed people in this. Like, you have to be ready to make this happen in the next 8 weeks. We're going to give you everything we possibly have. You're going to have full access to us, all the tools, all the training, all the strategy. You're going to have to put it into place, and we're going to help you every step of the way, but you have to be ready to do this. We can't accept people into this program who are just kind of like, they want to follow along because it might be fun and they might learn some new skills. No, this is about really getting the results. So unless you're ready to build to that level of $1,000 a month in new revenue, it's probably better to study and to like take things slowly in a different place.
Okay, I've got a few questions. I'll start with Michael's question. He says he's got a website. I wonder if I've looked at it on my screen. I'd like you to bring it up on your screen if you don't mind, just really quickly. It is at mdd.idlife.com.
Do you want me to bring it up live there now?
Yeah, you may as well bring it up. And all he wants to know is, will your training work for this kind of website? Like, he wants to know.
Is it cool if I bring it up on my phone here quickly, just so I can take a look at it, but everyone else can stay on the screen there, or just so I can advise him on that matter? What do you think it would be?
I think it'd be helpful, because I think it'll be like indicative of the type of site that some of the people on my list will have. Because I know that some people that come from my Traffic Travis list, they quite often join that because they've got the software Traffic Travis to help rank maybe an e-commerce store like this, or maybe you've got clients and you want to get their rankings up higher. Maybe you don't have an affiliate site, or maybe, and I thought this is an interesting type of site, that I don't know if you covered on the webinar, so I thought if you had a quick look, showed it on screen, and you were able to say yes or no, whether it's,
Can you tell me the URL again, Mark?
Yep, mdd.idlife.com.
Let's have a little look here. Who is the person?
Michael.
Michael. All right. So, is it weight loss supplements? Wow, cool site.
Yeah, I mean, I know not everybody everybody is going to have a site like this that they're starting with, but I know that some of you guys have got an existing site. They all take different shapes and sizes. Some of you have affiliate sites. This guy just had this question: will it work for me? And I just thought it was well worth just checking in with you on that before carrying on to the next question.
Yeah, this is cool. So straight off the bat, there's a couple of things that I know just before I've even delved into this site. This site sells these products. This looks like an energy drink. I have no doubt there are more products as well. The same as it would be in the offline world, there are a group of people on the internet that want to buy this thing more than anyone else does. Okay? The first thing that you will do in this program is to identify what that group of people is. They're the group of people that want to buy this stuff more than anyone else, and that are the most accessible. More accessible, more easily than anyone else. So the places where you can get this site and get these products in front of those people as quickly and easily as possible. That will be what you'll spend doing in week 1. Now that might involve creating some new content, because it might come to be, and only possibly, it might not, it might come to be that the people who, or some groups of people that really want to buy your stuff at the moment, you don't have the content on your site that caters to them as well as it could, not yet. So it might involve you adding some new content in that first week. From there, there's a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. This is in the personal development niche. It's not just weight loss. They've got stuff from other things as well. It could quite easily rank for a lot of personal development related search phrases that are outside of just like straight out energy drinks and so forth. When it
yes,
products, for sure.
And that will be a challenge for this site as well, is because you sell multiple things. It will be a matter of working out first, like which of these areas and which of these products is the place to focus on to begin with, to bring in the fastest revenue that you can. Because some of these little sub markets and keyword groups are going to be easier than others. So.
We won't go into too much.
Isolate what that group is.
We won't go into detail on that right now because we've got more questions. But I guess the simple yes/no answer was obviously yes. This will be very helpful for them.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Liz is saying, I'm interested in getting started, and I own a few websites, but I'm interested in developing a few of these websites to offer info products. Is this course for me? Well, from my perspective, I'm thinking that it's not a course that teaches you how to make your own info product, but it is a course that will teach you how to, how to profit from your own info website if you want to sell affiliate products, but secondly, it'll tell you how to rank those info products if you do put up your own info product. Would I be right in saying that?
Absolutely, yeah. So you'll need to have your info product ready, but once it's there, we can show you how to find the people who most want that and get your product in front of them as quickly and easily as possible.
Okay, but if you don't have your own info product, you'll show people how to, say, be an affiliate. So someone could start from your... Am I right in saying someone could have nothing? They could go in, buy the product from you, and you'll still be able to tell them how to enter a profitable market, how to be an affiliate, and earn commissions from someone else's product.
Yeah, let me be clear on this. This course does not contain training on how to find the best market for you to enter. Okay?
Right.
That's the only thing that it doesn't contain. So what you should have when you come to this course is at least an idea of where you want to get started. Okay. Now, I say that actually there is some special bonuses, and I'll advertise with this, and things inside that will give you ideas if you don't have a niche yet either. But I don't ultimately recommend coming on board if you don't at least have an idea of where you want to get started.
Cool.
Now, if you have an idea of the market you want to start in, all you have to do is get a domain name and a hosting account, and you can go to our outsource area and have the guy put the website up for you and put the right theme on there that's going to be well optimized and have that ready for you to get content on it. So at every step of the way, like I mentioned, there's someone there who can do that work for you if you don't know how to do it or if you don't want to do it yourself.
Cool. Okay, Annie's saying, I'm in the category of starting a new website, but I'm not sure actually how to build one. Is that okay, or is this training, is it more suitable to those who already have some experience in, say, building websites or niche selection, affiliate marketing, and so forth? I want to know how much time commitment would be needed during the next 8 weeks.
Okay, so I'll take that in 2 parts. The first one, the training on building sites and everything. What you would do, if you're really at that point where you are completely at the beginning and you've never made a website or a blog of your own or anything like that, this program can work for you as long as you come on board with understanding that there's a little bit of extra learning that you will have to do over some other people. So yes, when you are inside, as long as you have got an idea of the market you want to start in, you can have one of our people, and you know how to buy a domain name, for example, and you know how to buy a hosting account. If you're at that point, you can have our people take care of the putting up the site and that part afterwards. But if you want to do the whole thing yourself, it's better if you have at least done that before. Just put up a simple blog, even if you've done nothing with it, if it never made a single dollar, it never got one single visitor. If you've been through the process before, you'll be at an advantage with this.
Okay. Michael's saying, I'm a professional network marketer and have done this all offline so far and created a full-time income. I now want to take my expertise online and develop me as a brand. I have content, but no real idea how to actually set the website up. Is this for me?
Similar to Annie, if you don't know how to set a website up and you're not content for us to, like our team, to make a site for you, you will need to get some extra training, some extra help somewhere else to know how to set the site up. If you're okay to have our guy build a site for you, that's fine. Like, you know your market already, obviously. You can come in, have him, as long as you've got a hosting account and domain name, have him put the site up for you, and then you can start through the process from there. That absolutely will work for you.
Great, so they can basically pay the $9.97 and get the site built for them. That sounds cheap for a website to be built for you as well as training, so that's great.
Yeah, actually, let me be clear on that because I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. So the outsourced team that you get, some parts of it are things that are included in your price, like they're for free, like the backlinking package or whatever. The other outsourced people who do the work for you are provided at cost prices. So that's the kind of thing where they're available, they can do the stuff for you. You can use them as much or as little as you like, and you'd pay the cheapest possible price. So for example, to give you an idea, if you want someone to put the blog up for you, to get your site up on your domain name, get the proper theme installed and have it ready, that costs $10. I'm not talking about like you got to pay some guy hundreds of dollars to do the stuff for you. That thing costs $10.
Okay.
There's little costs like that, but so some of the work done for you is there for free. Some other parts you have to pay the cost price for.
Okay, good. Thanks for being clear on that. That sounds really reasonable, those prices, though. If it's just $10, like, I know it doesn't take long. I mean, I've done it before. You install WordPress and everything. It take you 15 minutes, and then choose a theme and all of that, maybe another 10 minutes or whatever. But it's but not everyone finds that straightforward and easy. So to be able to pay someone $10 to do it, that's pretty handy.
It's a big advantage, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Lewis says, you mentioned it's better to remove from Google all the pages that don't provide the best relevance to your topic or is reported as junk. How do you feel about pages such as terms and conditions, privacy policy? They're not junk, but not content. Should I disallow them?
Great question, and the answer is yes. They're not going to ever provide value to someone searching in Google, so they don't need to be in the index. They can be on your site, they have value for your site, but they should be removed from the index, and that's something that we look at in detail in Module 2. So in Module 2, it's about, remember those 5 mistakes I told you about? I got to demonstrate one of them on the screen, which was finding those junk pages, but there's another 4 of them that we'll look at. You'll work out, we'll show you how to get rid of all of that stuff so that all is left is the highest quality stuff that you have, and Google has no reason to think that you are not the best site in your
Those
niche.
kind of pages, though, like a privacy policy and a contact page, and even let's say you've got a members area page, if you're going to de-index that from Google, because I just know that from being in the I know from reading Google's policy documents on, because it got leaked, on what they classify to be a quality site for AdWords purposes, and one of the things they look for is a contact page, a privacy policy, and even a page that is a members area that actually, you don't have to have one, but that is considered a sign of a quality site to them. So you're saying that those sort of pages, it shouldn't necessarily be indexed in Google, but it should just be there, like linked from within your site.
Yeah, that's a good point too, Mark. So there's a difference between Google being able to see that a page exists and them actually including it in their index.
Okay.
And there are steps you can take to make sure that they know it exists. The site is still there. They will still even crawl it, but they're just not going to put it in their index. They're not going to put it in the results. That's what you need.
Okay, great. That's good to know. Okay. Okay, Romeo says, I would appreciate it if you can answer my question. I've looked for an answer on the internet and have got no luck. The keyword PENNLIVE has 33 results and 165,000 visits a month. Why would that have 33 results when it has so many visitors? Is it difficult to rank or something? I've found many keywords like this. Can we still use it to get traffic?
So Romeo, in his question, uncovers one of the great opportunities that exist in the search engines. The fact that there are keywords exactly like this that get a lot of volume, a lot of people searching for them, not generally that many, by the way. I'm not sure I've seen those numbers quite so extreme. But real terms that people are really looking for and that Google has nothing good to show. There's another trick. I can really quickly tell you guys this for people who want to write this down. When you're searching, like we did at the start of the presentation, in Google Suggest, and you see some term come up there that didn't come up in your previous keyword research, like it didn't come up in the AdWords keyword planner or something else. If you see one of those keywords, you can put the keyword you can research that same keyword. So it might have been like dog health insurance comparison site or whatever that was. Put it into inverted commas and see how many results Google has for just that exact term. Sometimes you find that they have no results. When you search a term in quotations, Google has nothing to show. So what that means is people were really searching that term because it was in Google Suggest. Google got the data from somewhere, but they have nothing to show. They want a page to be able to serve to people who are looking for that term, and they have nothing. If you targeted that term, if you had a piece of content that even mentioned that term prominently, you would instantly be ranking. As soon as Google found the page, it would be coming up for that term. And those kind of possibilities, kind of like what Romeo described, if you know where to look, they exist everywhere.
Okay, for anyone that's asking, they're saying that they've found other pages on this website that says that the institute is closed. I've had one person saying that they've even received an email saying that it's now closed. That's because for the general public, this is closed. This was closed because you've only been running this for the last few days, and this closed, was it today or yesterday? And now I think that you're letting me keep it open until the weekend, were you saying? And then that's it. So
yeah, so the reason people saw that is, like I said to you guys, this is not open to the public. That's the message that everyone gets when they're looking for this program. It is closed. It finally closes on Friday night, but yeah, secret source, Mark's going to have this allowed to be open for another day or so after that to get to the last few people in before we get started. But yeah, guys, it's not open to the public.
Okay, and that's
right, a coaching training starts.
If anyone misses a live session, well, like let's say they're willing to do all the homework, they're willing to do all the work, but they just cannot make it exactly at your live session time, say on Monday. Will you like mail out the replay of that session, that kind of thing?
Yeah, good question. So firstly, the answer has two parts. Yeah, all the coaching sessions are going to be recorded, so if you don't get a chance to make one of them, you'll be able to see everything that happened on it the next day. And what usually happens is, if you had questions that you wanted to ask and you missed the presentation, you almost always find, because there's only a certain number of questions that can possibly be asked about a set of material, you usually find someone else asked your question and you can watch the answer the following day anyway. So that's part one. The second part is that we've mixed the times around of our coaching sessions every week so that everyone can get on. So whatever time zone you're in, there's going to be some are going to work better for you and some are going to work worse. But you will be on those calls no matter what happens. And if not, then we can rectify that. Okay.
Now, I've had several people mentioning now that they've enrolled. Well, at least a handful anyway. I've noticed about 6 or 7 have typed in saying that they've enrolled, which means there's probably been more. Do you know if we've reached the 10 people that have got that first bonus yet?
Yeah, I can see those spaces are actually gone now, Mark. There's no more people for the 10 free Skype calls, but for the remainder of people, the program is still open until you get to that 100 spots. But by the look of this, this will probably only be maybe 24 hours longer, or at least till the end of Friday, and that's it.
Okay, cool. And all right, so next question. Okay, it says, you also mentioned few backlinks, yet high quality, high ranking backlinks. Just last week, Matt Cutts released that if we're going to do guest blogging, we should stop now. Which to me seems crazy, because you'd think that would be a quality thing to do, get more. So my question though is, these high quality links you mentioned, do we have to be registered in the blog site, or do we have to have this backlink as a do follow backlink? That was the end of the question.
Sure. Oh, there's many things to say about this. So if my buddy and your soon-to-be fellow coach Alex heard this comment, he would be steaming with rage, because it's one of those examples where Google, the public voice of which is regularly Matt Cutts, says a particular thing publicly, and the algorithm does a different thing. So for Matt Cutts to say that if you're going to do guest blogging, you should stop, what he's saying, and what he's usually saying, is that we don't have any way to in the algorithm to determine that guest blogging is bad. So I have to ask you to stop doing that. Okay? Now, there's a crazy thing that when Matt Cutts says things, the number of people that he gets to stop doing stuff is enormous. People just fearful, they just do what he says or whatever. We develop strategies based on what the algorithm is doing, what's actually working, what's ranking in the search engines. And that's regularly, almost always, different to what Matt Cutts is saying. That's the first part of that answer. The second part is, yes, like you can't just get a link from any blog. You can't just do the random kind of guest blogging where any link on any piece of content, any blog will work. But there is a set of links, there's a kind of blog and a kind of piece of content that you can get published that's getting real results right now, and that's not going to change next week no matter what Matt Cutts says. You have to think about it in terms of quality as well. Like for one site to publish another site's piece of content and leave a backlink to them, it's the most natural kind of link in the world. It's not even about the internet. This happens offline, like in a newspaper or a magazine. This is how press works. This is how sharing of content works. There's not going to become a time when that kind of link is suddenly frowned upon. Like, yes, they can do things to eliminate certain low quality, like spammy, sneaky forms of that thing, and that's more than likely what they will do, as they will continue to do, rather. That's always Google's mission. Smart people like us just understand what that is, what they're trying to accomplish, and we work within those boundaries. So long-winded, but I hope that kind of answers the question.
Okay, cool. Well, Larry says, I'm now enrolled with the Rankings Institute. He says I have 25 old auto-blogging websites that never made me more than about $400. They're in good niches. Will your program be able to utilize any of those old sites, basically, or will he have to start new ones?
I'm going to tell you the thing you don't want to hear. Gary, was it?
No, Larry.
The answer is Larry. Sorry. The answer is no. No. Auto blogs? No. I can say this as someone who got started building auto blogs online. Their time has come and gone. And it's
can I just say, just something to interject that, because I know some people making good money out of auto blogs, but the thing about auto blogs is they don't last. If you're going to make good money as an auto blogger, you've got to do one of two things. You've got to either be prepared to be on the treadmill of launching them. Like the people that I know that are doing 10,000 a week from this sort of thing, they are literally launching 500 of these a week, and because they come and they go, and they come and they go. So you've got to be prepared to be on the treadmill and have outsourced staff like launching these all the time. Or you've got to pick a niche that you can do in an auto blog way that is still going to provide quality content, which is they're very few and far between, but there are some. I won't reveal them because they are friends of mine's niches that I know that they're in, that they wouldn't be happy about me just revealing on the webinar, but they have to be pretty kitschy little niches that Google is very much struggling for content on. And you would be making money from it now if that was the case.
That's right. Yeah. So I should be clear for Larry that that's not really the angle of this program. This is about building quality sites for income that will last. That's what we most want people to do with this stuff. So in truth, more than likely some of the things you learn you may well be able to apply, but you're going to be doing it inside that auto blog model, and it's going to work like Mark said, where the site's going to last for a little while. You're going to lose it eventually. You're going to have to keep building new ones. So
yeah, I think your assumption though, Andrew, is that people are either they're going to be using your team to do it for them, or they're going to do it themselves. But your assumption is that they're making content that the search engines actually want in there. Like they're not just tricking the search engines. Yes, you're doing some tricks, don't get me wrong, but you're actually still providing stuff that people are actually looking for, which is the problem with auto blogs, is quite often they don't provide what they're looking for. And the friends of mine that I have that are doing anything automated in that sense, they're either on the treadmill of churning out loads of those kind of sites because they know it's junk and it keeps getting kicked out, or they've figured out a way to they've found a few niches where they can auto blog and provide quality, which for that particular niche, because that niche is served by that kind of content. I won't, like I said, I can't reveal those niches, but there are some which involve a different kind of content than article content, which means that it's a bit easier to serve that kind of content.
Yes.
Okay, so Carol and others that have got affiliate sites, regular affiliate sites with normal content, this will work just fine. This will be great. If you have, what about people that have got clients? Let's say they're an SEO consultant. They've got clients that have websites. Is this good to be part of this membership?
Absolutely, yeah. Like Alex's experience, more so than mine. Mine's primarily in the affiliate space, as you mentioned at the start of the presentation. Alex is a combination. He does a lot of his own affiliate marketing, but also he works with a lot of local businesses, and so that knowledge is combined into the course, absolutely. And really, in a lot of those local business markets, the same stuff is just easier. You're just competing against less people. It's a smaller area. You can make more money per visitor because people are so targeted. They're in your very area looking for a particular thing. So, yeah, absolutely, this can work in that situation.
Great, cool, yeah. And if I was doing local client consulting, I would want to join this kind of membership, particularly for not just the knowledge that you get to learn, which would be great, but more from the point of view that you're getting some additional resources, the additional places to get work done for you, the private community where you'd be able to just post your website and a bunch of people would just respond. It could be one of your clients' sites and they'd respond with a bunch of tips. There's not to mention the support from these guys. So, if you're already running that kind of business, to me it sounds really good. Now, I've got Neil just saying, can this work for an Amazon product page? Or is it only for, say, other kinds of websites where it's not where it's more than one page? It's on your own domain.
Yeah, I'm really glad somebody asked that. So these are the techniques for making any property rank. So if you've got an Amazon product page, that's great. If you've got a Web 2.0 property, like even a YouTube video or whatever, these are the rules for making anything rank. This is the strategy. Now, when it comes to an Amazon product page, you have to realize you have an advantage. There's a built-in way that you can get results quicker with this just by doing the exact same stuff as everyone else. The reason is that the domain you're promoting is Amazon.com. Like you've got a piece of content on a highly authoritative, extremely old, and enormous domain name. So making stuff rank that's on Amazon.com, like making your Amazon product rank, it's easier than the alternative. It's easier than if you have affiliate sites or whatever else. Cool. So the answer is a big, big yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so make sure you write down that link, guys, because we're going to finish up in a moment. I'm really sorry if we haven't managed to get to everybody's questions. If anyone's got any other questions, do you have an email address or something that people could send to Andrew, like afterwards?
Yes, tell them they can email me it's Andrew, Andrew at rankingsinstitute.com.
Okay, that's easy to remember because you've spelt the word rankingsinstitute.com right there. So it's Andrew at rankingsinstitute.com. So if your question doesn't get answered on the call today, I'm sorry, it's because we've had over 500 people live on this webinar and there's just so many questions. And we've gone well over, like more than an hour over time already. So thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate that.
No,
I'll just answer just a few more quick questions that we've got, and then we better leave it at that. Okay, Paul just says, "Hi Mark, I've got a service business, furniture removalist in Brisbane. Will this help me improve our free traffic and SEO rankings and so forth? I use paid traffic at the moment, but I don't get any SEO leads." Okay, so yeah.
Okay. First, let me say that you're close to my heart because I grew up on the Gold Coast, so that's cool. Secondly, let me say, like, the reality of this is that if you're paying for traffic now, especially in that kind of local space, like your alternative, and I'm sure perhaps even some of your competitors, like you can pay an SEO agency to do this kind of thing, charge you $1,000, a couple of $1,000 a month or whatever, or you can go through this course with us, pay a fraction of that price, and learn the skills to be able to do it twice as good as anyone of those people would be able to do this for you. So the answer is yes. I absolutely think that that kind of business can get astounding results from this kind of stuff, and I'm quite excited, in fact, to work with that kind of person, particularly in this program. So I hope I see you around.
Okay. Matthew is asking, what was that add-on that was that plugin or something you were using for your browser that was giving you those Google statistics, like when people were you were searching Google, underneath each result it had a bunch of statistics. What plugin were you using?
Yeah,
I know there's a few different types.
That's a plugin. Yeah, there's a bunch of these ones. That one's the one that I just have on Chrome. So that's it's called Mozbar. Actually, there was two, I think. I think it's called SEO for Chrome or something like that, and the other one's called Mozbar.
Okay, so that's from MOZ.
Check those out.
So that's from SEO Moz, obviously, or I think they're just called Moz now, moz.org or something. Yeah. Okay, cool. And we've got someone saying, would you mind bringing up one more site on the screen? They want to ask if it'll work for that.
Yeah, why not?
I think it's probably a good one to look at. It's weightlossoz.com. That's weightlossoz.com. This is from JJ.
Let's take a look, JJ. I can see a WordPress blog, which needs a new tagline because it still has just another WordPress site, but that's okay. We can work on that. Yeah, this is cool. Looks nice, visually appealing. Potentially a little too heavy on the monetization, but we would work on that. Yeah, so I assume what you're trying to do here is to rank for some targeted long-tail keywords to bring in traffic to your newsletter, to your opt-in, and potentially sell some products as an affiliate, I suppose. If that's correct, maybe you could just give us a quick yes or no, but yeah, this is exactly the kind of site that we could work with. I can guarantee at first glance that when we get to module 2 and start to analyze things that are going on, this site would have some of those mistakes that we were talking about, and cleaning them up and nothing else has the potential to increase your traffic significantly. I'd be interested in how much traffic you're getting at the moment and where that's coming from, and we would follow the same process by starting out asking, where's the people that are going to make you the most money? Where are those? And there's a process in module 1 that we go through to determine that, and once we determine that, we start to build that new content, clean that site up, and just take it from there. But this kind of site has a lot of potential because you're in a big market where a lot of money is being made already. It's just about tapping into the right corners of that market to expose yourself to some of that profit. So yeah, hope that helps.
Okay, guys. I just want to say a big thank you though to Andrew. The course is great, but even before the course, you spend over an hour teaching just quality content. And I love it when I get a guest that comes on board and just gives content right from the start. Because whether or not people join, there's a heap of value provided on this webinar. So, if you enjoyed the webinar, type in a thank you into the Q&A box to Andrew, just so that he knows, that you guys have enjoyed it and gained great value. I think it's awesome when I get guests like you that they'll spend a heap of time giving great content. Obviously, you've got a product to offer, and it's a great offer, and it's a relevant offer. But for people that whether they join or not, there was a lot of great content, and especially in that first hour. So thank you, and thanks for taking the time to answer all those questions. And I noticed that we're getting heaps of people typing into the Q&A box saying thank you, and that they really enjoyed the webinar.
Thank you guys, and thanks Mark for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely a pleasure to be here to get the chance to share this stuff. Like I said, this is most of what I do with my life. I'm really into this stuff. I love being able to share it with people, and if you guys can take away some stuff, whether you join us or not on this program, and put it into action and see some results, I'll be happy.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Don't forget, if you've got any further questions that I didn't manage to get to on the webinar, just email andrew@rankingsinstitute.com. Don't forget to write down that web address in case you're considering joining this later, because it's closing. Officially, it closes midnight Friday, although Andrew said that he'll leave it open for me until Saturday, but it's or until the weekend. At the very, very latest, I'd imagine it'll be Sunday, because it starts on Monday. So the doors are closing very, very shortly, or when 100 spots are taken. So that could be happening earlier than that anyway. So yeah, write that down if it is something you're considering. And yeah, I just want to say a big thank you, everybody, for joining us and for sticking around and for asking your questions. And I hope you take action with what you learn. All right, guys, have a great rest of the evening or day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, everybody. And thanks, Andrew.
See you later.